On my retro PC, I started a run of the first Pajama Sam game. It starts with an opening cutscene about a character called Pajama Man stopping a character called Darkness from throwing the world into an eternal night. Then it cuts to Sam's mom telling him to pick up his socks and telling him tonight's the night Sam goes to sleep with the light out. Then she says goodnight, and Sam starts getting scared of the dark and saying Darkness lives in his closet. He then says he will have to capture Darkness and turns on the light and says this is a job for Pajama Sam. Then he says he needs his Pajama Sam mask, his flashlight, and his lunchbox. Then we are given control and can search the room. First I found the flashlight in the top drawer. Where the items are is randomized each run. I found a sock, but I decided I'm not going to worry about the sock hunt aspect, since they can be in a lot of places and there's a lot of them, and I'll never find them all without a guide. But whatever, there's no point to that side quest anyways. I then found the mask and the lunchbox, and then clicked on the closet. There's then another cutscene where Sam puts on his mask and enters his closet. He then trips and falls down a wormhole or something, and falls into some new world. He says, wow, this looks like where Darkness lives alright, and I better go find him before Mom notices I'm gone. I then ran through this screen and the next, and Sam is then caught in a trap, and the talking trees take his things and leave him hanging by his ankle. I click on the rope and he frees himself. Then I go back to the previous screen and use the rope to get the board out of the river. Then I head to the next screen where I see Darkness's house and a sign pointing to the boat dock. I head that way and see a talking boat named Otto who says he can't give me a ride because he would sink since he's made of wood. Sam tells him wood floats, and Otto says he heard a story of something made of wood sinking to the bottom. So I use the wood on the water and Sam throws it in, demonstrating that wood floats. Then Otto jumps in and is happy to find he can float and tells us to hop in. I go a couple screens over and find an oil can on a dock and I take it. Later I land on another shore and get Sam's head stuck in a log. Then Sam walks down the path and goes past some trees, who allow Sam to pass because they think he's a fellow tree. I then see Sam's mask on a talking carrot who says he'll give the mask back only if Sam can free the other carrots being held prisoner in Darkness's kitchen, and we take him with us. Next I head back to the screen with the signs. The next one points to the mines, so I head into them, where I meet a talking minecart, who's depressed because he can't roll around anymore, since his wheels got rusted stiff and stuck him to his spot. So I use the oil on him, and the rust disappears. And that was as far as I got on this first session, so I saved and stopped recording, and it had taken about 18 minutes to play this much of the game. The next session is done, but before we get to that, I noticed I skipped something from last session. When I was on the river and found the shack, I also tried to get into it, but the handle was rusted, so I used the oil on it and got in, and inside I found a hammer, which I added to my inventory for later. Carrying on, I went into the mines. I tried to read the meter, but it wasn't giving me a number this run, which I guess means the trivia related to this meter isn't important in my run, though my last run I had to read the meter. I went all around the mines a couple times looking for the number I was supposed to get, but couldn't find it, because I didn't need it in my run. Eventually I found this area that's blocked off by boards and used the hammer on it. I never noticed this in my last run of the game, and didn't need to beat the game that time. The game has different things to do based on a random dice roll at the beginning, I guess. Beyond this, in the next area, I couldn't find what to do, so I did something I knew I could do. I found a pickaxe in the mines. And there's a secret path to a hidden gold vein, needed to get to a blocked bridge on the coast of the river. You have to click some side paths before Sam passes them to get to the gold, and then use the pickaxe, and there you go. Then I took it out to Otto the boat, and talked to some door with a face that wanted gold to pass. On the other side is a park where I talked to a pencil, which agreed to come with me. Then I talked to a toaster, which wanted to play a version of tic-tac-toe called Cheese and Crackers, which I didn't do. But I went off and headed back to where I got stuck earlier in the mines. This time I tried the pencil on it and had to draw a path by counting up by twos. Then a bunch of tools showed up and blew the wall up, and the pencil went with them and left us, and we carried on, plunging through dark tunnels and ending up near some half-pipe track. I clicked on a switch, but Sam couldn't reach it. Then I clicked on the other side of the half-pipe and Sam says he bets he can flip the switch. so I have to click it as he's in the air right after clicking the track. Once it's switched, we exit back out to where the exploded wall was, and this time the tracks are lit, and I see the flashlight I need on some unreachable piece of track. There's a hook on a rope here, and I find I can climb the track to some winch, but find that it's missing a piece and doesn't work. So I go out to find what I need, which has to be in Darkness's house, as that's the last of the 3 places to go. Outside his house is an easy puzzle where you go into some basket and click on stones nearby that jump into Sam's hands, and he puts them in a basket which counterweights him into the treehouse, and then they jump back to where they were before. In the house, the first door I enter is the kitchen, and I click on the fridge, which then sings to Sam about carrots. All I do is use the carrot from the garden on him, and Sam sings he has a victim for the fridge, and the fridge says he'll open. But when he does, the carrots all start singing about being free and jump out one by one. Then the carrot from the garden gives us a mask, tells us to wear it as a gift of gratitude from a carrot. The next door leads to a room with dancing furniture. Next, I go up the stairs and talk to some double doors who want Sam to pass a quiz to be able to go through. I take the category The Land of Darkness, and it takes me 4 tries to get the right answer. Very bad luck. The other 3 categories I get first try, but they are much easier. Like fruits category says apple pie is made of what fruit? Apples, obviously. The next one was luck, though. In rocket science, it's a question. I have no idea, so I guess. How much solid fuel is required to boost a space shuttle into orbit? I guess tons, and it's right. Then comic book heroes is even more trivial than the apple pie thing, as every answer is the same. It asks, who is the strongest comic book superhero of all, and it's Pajama Man. This makes Sam the new Brain Tickler Grand Champion, and the doors congratulate Sam and open up to some weird area with doors on the floor and ceiling. One way leads to a similar area with a clock, and I go through a door on the floor which leads to a library room where there's a book of clues which reads, "To see what you have never seen, you must push in only green." So I hit all the green books and the bookshelf spins and I go through. Sam says he thinks he saw something on the other side of the door. We'll come back for that later. For now, Sam goes through and down some spiral staircase where there's 2 doors. I press a button to open one, then I go through the other. It leads to some kind of secret mad scientist lab, but I don't see anything to do, so I go back out and through the other door. This leads to the mines where the cart appears and we go for another ride. Then Sam leaves the mines and goes back to Darkness's house, where he goes back to the room with the dancing furniture. In there he reads the clock to say it's 1:45. And goes upstairs, back through the talking doors and over to the side where the clock was. Sam talks to it, and it says Sam is not the first one to try and defeat Darkness, and that it's been around a long time and saw a lot of kids. I click on the gears within, and the clock makes a deal to give me any gear if I set his hands to the correct time. So I used the time I got in the other room and set him to 1:45. The clock says, "Nice job," and I grab the gear that matches the winch in the mines. In order to get back to the mines, I go back through the library, this time grabbing the magnet on my way through. Then it's through the open door, back onto the cart, and back to the area where the explosion happened. Then Sam hooks the cart to the rope and climbs up to fix the winch with the gear he has. Now it works, and Sam pulls up the cart to give it some speed to take the jump. Sam climbs in and releases the hook, and away he goes, grabbing the flashlight as he passes by the piece of track. Now all he needs is the lunchbox, which we saw floating in the water. So we leave the mines again and go back to the boat docks and down the river in the boat, down the waterfall and into the caves, where Sam uses the magnet on the lunchbox to pull it into the boat, meaning Sam now has all he needs. So we ride the geyser back up to the surface and head back to Darkness's house for the final showdown. Once inside, we climb the stairs and go up to Darkness's room. Sam puts on his mask and enters, saying Darkness is in the closet, which is locked. We open the cupboard, which causes an avalanche of keys. Then all we have to do is check the cupboard again and the real key is revealed. Then Sam takes it and opens the closet. He finds Darkness and says he came to trap him in a box so Sam won't be scared. Darkness says that's no fun and complains about not having any friends or playing any games, so Sam offers to play a game with him, Cheese and Crackers, which is just tic-tac-toe. Sam beats him and they become friends, and Sam says he had fun and will come back to play some other time. And he goes back home to bed, and the credits roll, ending the game.